Hey, welcome to this Literacy Shared Adobe Express challenge. In this tutorial, we're going to design our very own book cover. If you need free Adobe Express for Education accounts for your school, visit the link on screen. And there you'll also find all the other free things we do for schools like live lessons, teacher training and lesson packs. Let's get on with the challenge.
So let's create a book cover in Adobe Express. I'm going to go over to the plus here. And you can see there's a little search box here. I'm just going to put book in there and you can see down here first results book cover. I'm going to do mine on the BFG. So let's give it a good title. BFG book cover. There we go. And that'll help us find it later. And first things first, what have we got to do? Well, let's find like a big image that we can use for our book. I'm thinking of something like the BFG. Now, if you search the BFG, for example, you won't get any results because it's copyright. So you've got to be a little bit more creative. So I'm going to put something like elderly man funny, something like that. That's kind of vibe I'm going for. Okay, this first one is quite cool. Let's put that up there, and then you can start dragging it out. You can set as page background like that, but then once it's done, like reframing it is a little bit more tricky, but you can do it. So I'm just going to go back. You've always got the back button there, and you can get rid of that, and then just start to push it out yourself and decide where you want this to go. Now, if it starts getting a little bit tricky to do, you just want to zoom out, and then you've got a little bit more control. So I think I'll leave mine roughly around about there, maybe just zoom in a little bit more. That looks great to me. Now that that's done, I'm going to go back in here and zoom to fit page. Good, because I can see everything a little bit more clearly here. And let's give this book a title. So let's go for text, add your text, and just put the BFG. Okay, now you can, in terms of fonts, you can go to your recommended fonts and see if there's something in there that you like. There's all sorts of things, and you can just press show more down there, but I actually know which one I want, and it's called Can It, and we want the black italic version. These are all the different weights of font. So there we go. And then in terms of size, I'm going to size it up so it's a lot bigger, and then kind of pop it right in the middle there. That'll do, just about there. But the color, what I'm going to do here is pretty cool. So I'm going to go to the fill box on the left hand side, click it, and you can see you've got this little dropper tool. This means you can select any color on the page, and I'm going to select this man's t-shirt here because I think that's going to look cool. And then in terms of an outline, you can put one on there. Let's put a white outline. Yeah, I think that works really well.
Hey, I hope you're having fun so far. Teachers, if you'd like a PDF mapping this activity to the NCCE Teach Computing curriculum, follow the link that's on screen now. Okay, back to the challenge.
Now that's done, I'm going to go back to text, add your text, and this time I'm going to put by Roald Dahl. Of course, we're going to have to put the author's name in there. So let's just bring that down a little bit. I don't want it to be more important than the BFG's title, but you can see that little pink line down the side. That's saying it's aligned on the right hand side. So that's a nice little spot where it can go. Okay, next up, I'm going to go back to media over here because what I want to do is I want to put a picture of Sophie in there. Again, if you just put Sophie from the BFG, you won't find anything. So let's put little girl, something like that. Okay, now what am I looking for here? Ooh, I'm looking for something that's quite interesting. And this one here, where this girl is pointing, seems quite cool because she could be pointing at the BFG. Now it's on a white background, so it's really easy to remove that. You just go click it, go over to the left hand side, press remove background, and in a few seconds, there it is, all done. Now I'm going to do something here. I'm just going to change the angle ever so slightly so she's kind of pointing and leaning back at the BFG, making sure that maybe that's a little bit too much, but just maybe something like that. And also one of the things we can do is we can select our BFG image and then just rotate it down ever so slightly so that it's kind of looking at Sophie. It won't match exactly, but it gives you the kind of impression that they are actually looking at each other. Just make sure that your image doesn't get chopped off at either the top or the bottom or anything like that. Okay, cool. That looks great. I'm really happy with that. Now we're kind of done here, but I want to, there's not enough detail on this page. I want to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's go over to elements on the left hand side here, and what I'm going to search for is sticker. Okay, now when I go into bookshops, quite often the books have stickers on the front telling you something, some important information. So I've got one in here. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. Just pop it in there in this kind of empty space. That's good. Now, I'm not really into the color, but it's very easy to make that a bit more jazzy. Go over to effects on the left hand side and then select any one of these colors, or use the custom colors and find your own. But this yellow one looks really good for me. And then what I'm going to do is go to text, add your text. I'll write something like book of the month. Now, the color of this text, I think white will be good. But what I want is this text to appear like in a box. So I'm going to go to dynamic in terms of text layout. And then when I start to move it around, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. And then I can put it in the center of my sticker. That's great. And once it's in the center, I can rotate it like that, as if the sticker's been put on at a funny angle, which is great. That's all done. I really like that. So what I'm going to do now is press share. You can send it via Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. You can add people to collaborate on your file with you, but if you want a link that you can send out to whoever you like, just press view only link, create link, and it'll create a link for you. This is a really simple challenge, and here are a couple of other examples to show you exactly what you can do.